Hey guys, welcome back to Ants Midwest. Today I'm excited to share with you my newest colony in my collection. It's Lasius, I believe Americanus. I actually caught the colony exactly 1 month ago today. I didn't share it with you guys because sometimes ants don't adapt to captivity when they already had a colony going in the wild. However, these ants seem to be adapting very well, so I'm excited to share that with you. On the day that I caught this queen, it was actually the warmest day of the year for me. I think it was 50 degrees on that day. Some of you might think, well, that's pretty cold yet, but for me it was one of the warmest days of the year, so I went out and I started flipping stuff, as you can tell, and really didn't have much luck until I stumbled across this colony. I also had some trouble getting this one back in. As you may have noticed, when I flip something, I always like to put it back as good as I can, because that's the habitat these ants are living in, and I want to keep that habitat available for them in the future. And here we go, I finally found some ants. It took so long, I flipped so many things before I finally found some ants. And look at all that brood right away. And this is the colony that I ended up collecting because I found the queen. I didn't start collecting right away because I didn't see the queen, and I didn't really have a use to collect them. Now you can see the queen here, and I didn't. I actually started digging around her before I spotted her. Now I found the queen, and I just pointed for a second. I was so excited to have spotted her. Normally they're underground during hibernation, but I guess this one stayed up above ground. Once I found her, I just filmed for a couple seconds, and then I sprinted back to my house to grab my aspirator and containers. I didn't record any of the capturing of the ants. I just wanted to really focus, make sure I got every worker and larva. So here you can see them in their setup in an arthropod antics nest. You may have noticed all the pupa. It was actually really surprising how quickly they got pupa. It was only like a week after I put them in the nest that they had a pupa. It seems kind of weird to me considering there was only small larvae, but hey, I'll take it. At this point, however, you can see there are a lot of pupa and quite a lot of larvae that is growing. I mean, it's very impressive. I really wasn't sure that they would do good, but as you can tell, these larvae are filled up with food, and there's many of them, so the colony has really good odds here. So like I said before, this is Lasius. I believe Lasius Americanus. I don't really know a ton about them. I know they get pretty good sized colonies. Their care is very simple. As you can see, they like the crickets, so that's great. Other than that, they're just a really pretty simple ant species. I think they get overlooked quite a bit, but I think they're pretty cute and should be fun to keep. Another really good perk about having a Lasius colony is for parasitic Lasius queens. I can use brood from this colony to found parasitic Lasius. It'll be very useful in the future. Now, I'm not going to steal so much brood from this colony that they won't be able to survive, but I can take a little bit here and there when I need to, and they'll be perfectly fine, so that'll be very useful. Here is the Outworld, which is also from Arthropod Antics. It's the small Outworld. There's always several workers out here, never a ton though. The colony is relatively small yet, so I'm sure that'll increase. Here I'm trying to show that I put an olive oil barrier on, but it doesn't work so great for these ants. They do avoid it, but I left the lid off for a while, and there were ants that were getting out, so I decided I would just set it on upside down like that. So it's much easier to feed them, and they can't get out. When you put the lid on the proper way, it fits pretty tightly, which is great for small species, but it just makes it difficult to open and feed. So here I decided to give a little bit of a wider angle so you could get a better size scale for the size of the colony. Not a ton of workers, but quite a bit of brood. I'd say once all this brood hatches into workers from the pupa, it's going to pretty much double the colony size. And you might have seen before, they have a pretty decent amount of eggs as well. So it's looking really good for this colony. Well, that's pretty much the end of the video. It may have been kind of boring for some of you, but I think it's pretty cool to see how much brood they have, quite a bit. It's really nice to see, and I bet that's going to just keep expanding. I'm really excited to get this colony grown to a very large size, because they can get pretty big. So I look forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and check out some of my other videos. See ya!